Okay. Well, welcome everyone to our team Zoom. Wow, it's July 6th. Isn't that amazing? We're in July already. This year's just flying by. In spite of everything that's going on, it seems like it's moving rather quickly. And so I'm really it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce our guest tonight. His name is Taylor Worre, and most of you probably know him. He's the son of Eric Worre, who we all know and love, and he is in the corporate side of LifeVantage, and he is the director of New Leader Experience, and he's going to share a little bit about that with us tonight, along with some other information. I always just love hearing from you, Taylor. I think the last time I got to talk with you was in Cancun, and you took the time to join our table and just had some great things to share with us. As always, you're just such a warm person, and we just so appreciate you. So hopefully you are unmuted, and I'm just going to turn the time over to you because I know you have a super busy schedule, and I'm not sure how much time you have tonight. Are you there, Taylor?
I'm here, Julie. It's a pleasure to be on. Thanks for having me.
There you
Good
are.
to see everybody.
Wow.
How are you guys doing? I can see there's Mark Harris. What's going on, brother? How are you, man? Good to see you.
Living the dream,
and
man.
I'm just going to go around and say hi to everyone. Jan, thanks for being on. Debbie, good to see the Packards on here. And then we got, ooh, I like that name, Litsa. Litsa, it's a pleasure to see you. What's going on, brother? We got iPhone. You don't have a name on iPhone, but you're off mute, so I'm going to say hi to you. What's your name?
Hi, Moses.
Moses, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. So I really want to, Julie, tell me a little bit. What, you sent me kind of a brief. I feel like I talk a lot about why LifeVantage, and right now, I think you guys hear that a lot. I think you hear all the reasons, all the reasons you're involved with the company. You got involved with LifeVantage because either the product had an unbelievable impact in your life or someone you know's life, or you saw the business opportunity and you saw that there was an opportunity to have some real financial freedom by plugging into the job, the profession that is network marketing. And so, and that is just us have a serious love for people. And when you really look at what LifeVantage is, at the end of the day, we are a company that has clinically proven products. We're a company that stands behind validity, not behind testimony. We are the company that stands behind legitimacy and transparency. And so, all of that, you see all of that. And so what I want to do, and I'm going to throw Julie a curveball. She didn't know I was going to do this, but this is going to be more interactive than you guys probably thought it was going to be. I firmly believe that most people suffer from some of the same mental blocks, from some of the same excuses, from some of the same limiting beliefs. And so I want you guys to take a minute and think about it. Think about what is one thing that if you believe it was removed from your business, one thing, the one excuse that if it was removed, whether it's the fear of talking to people, the fear of rejection, the fear of explaining the product right, following up, whatever it might be, I want you to think about that. And if it was removed, what would your business look like? How fast would you be able to go? How quickly would those goals become attainable if you could remove some of those fear centers from your brain? If you have one of them, I'm going to invite you to take yourself off mute right now and share it. I know it's bold and I know it's aggressive, but I'm going to get I want to make this time that we have personal, and I want it to be real. I want it to be raw. I want you guys to be able to walk away from this with more than excitement. I want you to be able to walk away with this with some tangible, I feel like something has been removed from me. So I'm going to go to Moses because you're still off mute and because I can. Moses, how long have you been with LifeVantage?
I've been with LifeVantage going on 2 years by the end of this year.
Awesome.
I joined in late 2018, and so I was thinking about when you were talking about what are some mental blocks, and a couple of things came to mind. Like I think a little bit has to do with fear and self-doubt. It's because I've talked to a handful of people before, and I basically got shut down, like shot down. Some of the responses I got was, "Oh, I hate that stuff," or "Oh, I've heard of those things. Those things don't really work." You know, most of the people who join those things don't make much money,
Yep.
and that just sort of like
Deflated you.
Right.
Totally deflated. I completely get it. I'm going to mess with your mind for a couple minutes. Is that okay?
Yes.
Good. There's one catch to network marketing, and I'm going to share it with you guys. You guys want to know the one catch to network marketing? There's only one, and you really need to get really okay with it if you're ever going to be successful here. The one catch to network marketing is you need to be willing to accept a temporary, keyword temporary. You need to be willing to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. It's one of the most true sentences in our space. There are going to be people that do not understand what it is that we do. There are going to be people that are going to be skeptical and just downright negative. You need to be willing to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from those people. If you can find a way to remove that from yourself, if you can just understand that there are going to be ignorant people out there and that does not affect you whatsoever, that their ideals of you, that their concept of who you are, their thought of you does not matter to you. If you can get past that point, it's going to be a real big breakthrough for you, because what I'm going to tell you is the temporary piece of it is when you're sitting at Pro 6 or Pro 7 and you're a six-figure earner, and all of a sudden all those people are coming back to you going, "Why didn't you tell me it was for real?" So it's just going to take some time. There's not $1 million earner I know that doesn't have just about everyone that told them they were stupid come back and beg to join their business 10 years later. But it takes time. You can't expect that to happen overnight. Skeptics are going to remain skeptics until you prove them wrong. A lot of people prove them right by quitting. They quit and the skeptic wins. The skeptic goes, "See, told you it was stupid. You didn't make any money. You waste all that money. I'm so glad I didn't join you. See." But when they reach out to you 6 months from now and you're able to say, "It's been one of the best experiences of my life, minus the financial blessing it's brought to my life, I have been involved with an unbelievable community. I've been able to bring positivity and real legitimate products into people's lives, hundreds of people's lives. And yes, beyond that, I've been able to really set myself free financially over a long, consistent period of time by doing the work and putting in the effort in my free time." You talk about fear. Fear, they always say it, fear is simply a misunderstanding of the unknown. The only reason you ever have fear, and this is another thing that's going to mess you up, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but I need you to hear it. The only reason you ever have fear when it comes to talking to somebody is because you have attached an expectation to that person. The best advice I ever got in my entire life came from Tony Robbins. And I asked Tony, I said, "What's the biggest piece of advice you could give me that would not only change my life, but could change everyone else's life I come in contact with?" A lot of people on this call have already heard it. But he told me, he said, "Taylor, if you can find a way to trade your expectations for appreciation, your entire life will change overnight." He said, what most people don't realize is that 99% of their world, 99% of this planet spends about 99% of their existence built in expectation. And what a falsity when 99% of expectations are never met in reality. So I want you to think about that for a minute. Every time you sit down with a prospect, are you expecting something from them? Because the only reason you'll ever feel fear is because you have an expectation. If you approach every person in your life with nothing but appreciation, you have nothing to be afraid of. Because as network marketing professionals, yes, no, or indifferent does not matter to us. We are not salesmen in network marketing. If you ever feel like you're a salesman, you're doing something wrong. We have two main objectives as network marketing professionals. Two things that we need to be really, really good at. The first thing is we have to be professional relationship builders. We need to be professional friend makers. We need to be so good at making friends. We just have to open that door everywhere we go. One of my greatest things that helps people do that is you need to listen to an hour of personal development every morning and every night. Make it part of your daily habit every single day. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care what the kids, put it on Audible, put it in your ears and your AirPods when you're going to sleep. You need to do it in the shower in the morning if you have time, every day. Because what I found is it's incredibly difficult to go out into this world after listening to an hour of Jim Rohn or an hour of Les Brown or an hour of Tony Robbins. It's really hard to go out into the world with a negative mindset. And the energy that you carry out into this world, you are your brand. There's not a time I walk into a Starbucks where I am not overly kind to every single person in that place. Not just the patrons, but the employees. There's not a time that I go through a drive-through where I'm not thanking them and tipping them from time to time. There's not, everyone I come in contact with in my life gets the best of me. And I do everything I can to speak greatness into everyone I come in contact with. So it's about removing that expectation. A lot of us feel it every single day, and it's about replacing it with an appreciation. I'm so appreciative that you sat down to talk to me. When you're talking with a prospect, instead of waiting for your turn to talk, because I always tell, ulterior motives are felt and smelt and seen a mile away. There is nothing grosser than sitting down with a friend of yours and knowing that they genuinely don't care about anything you're telling them. They're just waiting for their turn to tell you what's important to them. We need to re-engage into relationships. We need to make LifeVantage not the first piece of value that we offer a new relationship. When you're out there building all these great connections on social media, don't make the first thing that you offer them in a sense of value be LifeVantage. Do you know how easy it is to bring value to someone's life? I could go to any one of your Facebook pages and within 30 seconds, I could find out most of what makes you tick mainly. I could find out what you're passionate about, what you share, what you care about, what's important to you, whether it's your family or it's whatever. I could find it. And when I find it, I can find a way to bring value to that. I think that we become so quick. We put the cart before the horse so often when it comes to this business and when it comes to building relationships. You believe, as I do, that LifeVantage is an unbelievable opportunity and brings tremendous value to anyone that's willing to take a look at it. But we forget that this business is built on relationships. And relationships are built on trust. And trust is built in time. So if we're not willing to put in the time to build the trust, to make the relationship something real other than just this news, weather, sports, kids are good, the weather sucks, yeah, politics is crazy and COVID's insane. If you want something deeper than that, then you need to be willing to get vulnerable with the people that you're talking to. I ask people all the time, when was the last time you had real conversations with people that you're talking to? It's easy to talk about the hot button items that everyone's watching on the news and all that stuff. But I'm talking about the real stuff that's affecting people's lives. If I was to pull Mark Harris off of mute, you don't need to right now, Mark, but say that I did, we had a real conversation. It was outside of all of this, how are you doing? Outside of your family and outside of your kids and outside of your business, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How has life been for you? What are you doing to fill your time and your hours beyond, just work? What's going on in your life? Because for me, I've found that what I'm doing is I've had a lot more time to check in with my children, with the kids. I found that this time has brought unbelievable blessing into my life because I've been able to soak into the thing that matters most to me, which is family. 6 months ago, I was really in a bad place. And this is me being vulnerable with you guys. I live across the country from my girlfriend and her children. I was praying on a daily basis for something to come along that was going to grant me the opportunity for this long distance relationship to be something that was real time every day, that I could be with her. I don't know if you guys know, but we're 2 months away from welcoming a beautiful little girl into this world. September 10th is her due date, and we're so excited. And I feel nothing but empathy and sympathy for anybody that has felt anything negative as a repercussion of what's been going on in our climate, either politically or just with the world and this virus going around. But I have been blessed beyond belief over the last 5 months to be able to be here every day, to be in this house every day with these kids and with my girlfriend, to be able to take care of her every day. Do you understand that by me just making myself vulnerable to you guys, how much more willing you would be to be vulnerable to me? By me sharing just a little piece of my life and what happened in my life. It's not always gravy. People can look in my life and think that, man, it probably must be pretty sweet. But I can tell you that 6 months ago, it wasn't that way. That life isn't always good. It isn't always fair. It isn't always easy. I share that with you as a hope that going forward, you realize that there is no weakness in vulnerability, that there is nothing but strength in vulnerability. And what people on this planet are striving for right now more than ever is genuine and real connection. We have over 20 million people filing for unemployment. I have friends that haven't received an unemployment check in over 10 weeks. The average American has less than $500 in their savings account. And what we have is a legitimate answer for those that are willing to do the work. This isn't easy, and it's not free, and it's not overnight. The one thing we have to accept as entrepreneurs is we don't get paid for the time. We don't get paid for the energy. We don't get paid for the hours. We get paid for the value that we bring to this space. It is a mentality that you need to shed from your job, from your 40-hour a week, from your 9 to 5. And I'm not discrediting a 9 to 5. I am a 9 to 5. But you need to shed that mentality as a network marketing professional. You need to realize that the only way you get paid in this space is for the value that you bring to it. It's a hard shift for someone that's spent most of their life in a 9 to 5. But if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, like my father would say, network marketing is just a better way. Moses, I really appreciate you sharing. I hope that brought some value to you. I hope that was able to clarify a few things for you. I really appreciate you taking the time to be vulnerable and share some of your self-doubt. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Taylor.
Of course. Let's talk with Kathleen. How are you, Kathleen?
Hi, how are you, Taylor?
Oh, we've got a couple Kathleens on. Look at that.
I'll be the one.
Which Kathleen is this? Hang on, I got to find you, Kathleen.
No,
Where are you?
No, I'll bow out.
No, you stay on. You better stay on. You better not go anywhere. I'm just going to find you. Where are you?
Givens, last name.
Is your camera on?
No way. No makeup on. Not happening tonight.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I understand it. I'll accept it. Fine. Even though we're all one family here. Kathleen, do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Share with me one of your limiting beliefs.
Well,
what's an excuse for you?
An excuse is probably approaching friends, people that I know, and I don't like to make it seem like I'm trying to sell something to my friends. People who aren't my friends, I don't have much of a problem. I believe in the products. I use all the products. So I don't feel like I'm not telling the truth. But with Friends, that's where I get tripped up a little bit.
Yep. So here's my best advice for friends, or this works equally well for people that are on your scared crapless list. A lot of people you guys have a list of people that you are just scared out of your mind to call. They would be so amazing for this, but you don't have it in them to reach out to them because they're super successful or whatever. One thing that I use a lot in this world is a very generic and very real approach, which is just saying, again, say I was talking to Jerry, and Jerry was a good friend of mine. And I just was reaching out to him, and I was getting started with LifeVantage. What I would say to Jerry is I'd say, look, Jerry, me and you have been friends for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've respected you for a while. You're sharp. You've always been someone that I've looked up to genuinely. And I'm not just saying that, but I really mean that. Something has come across my plate recently, a business opportunity that I'm more excited about than I thought I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not asking you to join, but honestly, would you do me a favor and just as a friend, professionally look over this opportunity for me and tell me what you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
It would mean a lot to me. I really respect your opinion, and I would really, really value it if you would be willing, because maybe you'll see something that I don't see. And I'm really excited about this right now because this opportunity seemingly has everything that I was looking for. But as a friend, I would really appreciate it if you give me a second pair of eyes on this opportunity and check this out for me and let me know what you think. Give me an honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I think that script works really, really well. And just there's not many friends that wouldn't be willing to do it. And if you truly replace the expectation with appreciation and mean what I just said,
Mm-hmm.
you won't care if they say yes, no, or indifferent.
Right.
You really won't. And so it all comes down to, are you willing to just accept that they might say, yeah, no, I think it looks great. I think it looks really cool. It's not for me, but I think that this is, I wish you all the best.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have someone that says, those products are amazing. I can't believe I've never heard of this before. I'd love to learn more about it. But again, you've got a lot of different avenues that conversation can go down. It all just, in my opinion, really needs to come from a place of, I'm not selling. Let me just take that off the table because I don't want it to be weird. But
Right.
I'm really excited about this, and I value your opinion, and it means something to me. So I would appreciate it if you gave it to me. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
I find that you can really go through and you can get a lot of opportunities in the next 30 days with your friends using that. You can get a lot of people looking at the opportunity.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that, Kathleen. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I want to go over one more thing, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Julie. I'll close talking a little bit about the Red Carpet Program at LifeVantage. But there's one more script I want to give you guys that I find incredibly beneficial when it comes to a lot of people I talk to have issues with follow-up, getting ghosted, reaching out to people, never hearing back. I sent out a video and I never got anything back. I call, and they never answer. It's a great script. It's kind of a telltale old phrase in network marketing. And it's, if I ... would you ... And so the whole phrase behind this, the whole concept behind this is a very tactical approach to following up with the people that you're exposing this opportunity to. So say I was talking to Jerry again. Say I'm reaching out to Jerry. Hey, Jerry, this amazing video, this opportunity, I want to send it over to you. If I was going to send you this video, when do you think you would have the time to watch it? When do you think you could watch it by? Ask that question straight up. If I was going to send you this video, when do you think you could watch it by? Jerry says, hey, I got a crazy night tonight. I got work in the morning, but, for sure by, I get home at 3, I can watch it tomorrow afternoon. Perfect. So it's safe to say that if I called you at 5 o'clock tomorrow, you would have watched the video and we could talk about it. Awesome. I'm going to call you at 5 o'clock tomorrow and we'll talk about it. You call Jerry tomorrow. He says, man, I didn't get a chance to watch it. No problem at all. No problem at all. When do you think you would have the time to watch it? Realistically. I could for sure watch it by tomorrow afternoon. When tomorrow afternoon? By 4 o'clock. Perfect. So if I call you at 4:15 tomorrow afternoon, you'll be done watching it. Perfect. I'll call you then. If I is a big piece, because you're saying that if I was willing to show you this opportunity, because it is an opportunity that I am very sacred of, I'm very protective of, This is a business where you get to choose who you're working with, and you need to be very selective over those people. It's not just a anyone and everyone. I know that's kind of how it feels in the beginning. Anyone that wants to be a part of it, but think about it. These people that come into your business will be there. They have the opportunity to be there for forever. And so it's very important to think about who you're wanting in and letting into your business. If I was to send you this video, when do you think you'd have the time to watch it? And then you follow up appropriately. If I would you is a really great phrase that's used a lot in our profession by some of the most successful leaders and some of the best follow-up experts on the planet. I'm sure Mark uses that. I'm sure that it's, I'm sure that him and his team are, I would imagine that it's being used in his follow-up. But Julie, I just appreciate you so much for having me on. Just so you guys know what I do at LifeVantage, I am the director of New Leader Experience. We have worked very hard to create an unbelievable support program, which we call our Red Carpet Program. The Red Carpet Program is specifically designed to support high-level leaders in the profession that are looking to make LifeVantage their final home. So normally these leaders are at least six-figure earners in the space in the network marketing profession in the last 3 to 5 years that have a proven track record of success. It is an onboarding program and a complete support program. There's a lot of details behind this program, and it is very what you'll see and very soon future here is you will see in the back office an education program on the red carpet. So you'll be able to see kind of what it looks like, how to introduce someone to the program. But in the meantime, if any of you, we always say the Red Carpet Program at LifeVantage is in no way a duplication system. It's not a way to build your business going out there and trying to poach leaders. Our goal at LifeVantage is to be a lighthouse, a place of safe harbor for those that are incurring rough seas. If there are leaders out there that are incurring rough seas, our job is to be that place of safe harbor for them. And so if anyone has any questions about what that program looks like in more detail or wants more information on it, has a leader that might be a potential fit, I am the only Taylor Worre on this planet. So it's very easy to find me on social media. But as well, my email is very easy. It's tworre@lifevantage.com. Feel free to reach out to me at any time with any questions. Julie reached out to me this morning via Facebook Messenger, and that's why I'm on your call right now. And so just know that it is my goal to be as much of a servant leader as I possibly can be to you and your teams to help you guys achieve all of your goals and all the success that you desire here at LifeVantage, so that not only you can live the life that you want to live, but the future generations, the people that will inherit these businesses that you are building, will have the ability to impact this world for the better based on your efforts, that you will be able to leave something so great behind that generations to come will be blessed because of your efforts. It's a pretty powerful statement when you really think about it. And so I am grateful for every one of you on this call for hanging in there with me for the full 30 minutes here. Julie, I appreciate you greatly. If there's anything else you want me to touch on, if there's any other questions anyone has, I would be happy to answer them. But just thank you so much for having me on. It really has been an honor.
Wow, Taylor, as usual, you just give so much value, and I just love your heart. We all love your heart. And so we appreciate everything that you shared with us. I have some great notes. If anyone has a question or a comment, he said he has a little bit of time, so you could type it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Or Mark, if you have anything you would like him to talk about, feel free to speak up also.
Yeah, I'm always ready. Taylor, I just want to express our mutual admiration and appreciation for you, brother, taking the time to jump on and just continue to pour out and pour out and pour out as you always do. I know we've got some new people on the call tonight, and there will be quite a few new people watching the replay that may or may not know your story and what a big deal it is that you have nailed your flag to the LifeVantage keel or the flagpole or wherever it's nailed. But just real briefly, I always enjoy, as a network marketing baby, as the son of network marketing, Just real briefly, give us some bullet points on why LifeVantage for you, and based on what you've seen companies go through momentum, legacy companies being created, why it's, and hopefully this is a softball question, why it's important to go to work right now, right out of the gate, whether you've been in for 5 years or 5 minutes. Just sort of a you are here moment.
Well, that I love it. And that is about another hour and a half of training. So I can go into all, I'll give you the abridged version. I've been in the space my whole life. For those of you that don't know my father, Eric Worre, I invite you to go check out his stuff. He is the world's #1 trainer in the space of network marketing and has been for a decade now. He's got the #1 selling book, Go Pro, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. Widely looked at as the Bible for network marketers. It is a really incredible book and very simple for every person, brand new or old, in the space to understand and to grasp. But I was born into this. My father owned a television network throughout the 90s called TPN. Before that, he was $1 million earner, basically from 3 years old for me on. Very high level leader in multiple different companies. Started his own television network marketing company in the 90s. That was 24 hours a day, positive programming, commercial free for you and your family and your children. With minds like Jim Rohn and Les Brown and Mark Victor Hansen and Darren Hardy and Zig Ziglar and Harvey McKay and everyone that you could think of when it came to personal development. And so I was blessed. We moved 7 times in 7 years. And so that was all I knew. Those were the only people I knew. I was blessed to have a personal relationship with everyone that I just named off. And I knew them well as a child and growing up. And so that was my life. I was surrounded by greatness, basically all of my childhood. At 18 years old, I joined the network marketing profession as a distributor and built heavily for 2 years before moving to the corporate side. Had some great success, was my company's youngest regional director in company history at 19 years old. And have just for the last 16 years now, have been doing my best to elevate this space to the best of my ability and to make this a better place for everyone that gets involved. Why LifeVantage for me? Very simply put, there was 5 main criteria, and I go through this in my red carpet conversations with 6- and 7-figure earners every day. I've done it 5 times today already. But for me, there was 5 main points. And number 1 was product strength. I needed to join a company with very strong, legitimate products. I think everyone here can agree that LifeVantage, there is not a company that holds a candle to LifeVantage when it comes to the product strength. To have over 30 published medical studies on PubMed.gov validating the products itself and not just the ingredients within them. To know that you have 9 patents on these products, 7 domestic and 2 international, protecting you to make sure that no one else can touch the legitimacy of these products. To know that LifeVantage has not gotten lazy with their product offering over time. To know that we have unbelievable product lines, from an award-winning hair care system to a skincare system that works on 43 different collagen levels on the skin, to 3 very solid tier 1 products, being our Pro Tandem family, which is the NRF2, NRF1, and NAD Synergizer. The product strength for me was really something that was unheard of. To know that you have the ability to compliantly say that Pro Tandem NRF2 is clinically proven to reduce the oxidative stress within your body by 40% in 30 days. Does not matter your age, your sex, where you come from on this planet. It doesn't matter. That for me was really, really unbelievable. And to know that that was compliant, it's crazy. It's a blessing. The second thing for me was corporate structure. I needed to, most leaders around the planet will tell you, it does not matter how good the products are. It does not matter how great the compensation plan is. If one of these 5 things is not present, the company does not have a place long-term in the future. Corporate structure is equally important as product strength. And to know that LifeVantage is being, in my opinion, it's the Harlem Globetrotters of network marketing corporate staff, in all honesty. I mean, it's crazy. Between the top 20 executives, there's over 400 years of combined network marketing experience. From Darren Jensen down, our CEO down, everyone that he has put in place is so well suited, from Cortland Pearson, who runs our Asia Pacific market, and Japan being our 2nd biggest market. Cortland spent 17 years of his life living in Japan, taking new skin from an emerging market to the $800 million a year market that it was. Could we have a better person running our Japanese market? No, we couldn't. Dr. Brian Dixon, our head of product research and development. Before being with LifeVantage a year and a half ago, Dr. Dixon spent a decade of his life being the head of product research and development for a little company you might have heard of called USANA Health Sciences, a legacy company in the space. And he chose to leave that company to LifeVantage because he said, quote unquote, I could not miss out on a company entering into such a sweet spot. He is now running our product research and development. So everyone that is a part of this company has been just handpicked because of their skills and their attributes to bring nothing but immense value to this corporate structure and to lead us into the future with nothing but momentum and ferocity. The third thing was field culture was number 3. Field culture was wildly important to me, equally. Every one of these is wildly important, but I love that Darren says we are not a bikinis and Lamborghinis organization. I love the fact that we have over a dozen $1 million earners at LifeVantage, and for the most part, you'll never know their names. That's not what we're here for. The heart of LifeVantage is philanthropic and it's servant leader driven. There's not an event that we do and then not an incentive vacation that we go on that we don't spend an entire day dedicated to giving back to the community in which we're vacationing or throwing an event or whatever it might be. I don't care if we have 750 distributors like we had in Atlantis, Bahamas. All 750 took part in an entire day working with the largest Bohemian orphanage on the island. Or if it was over in Ireland, in Killarney, Ireland, a bucket list trip for so many people that were on it. I can guarantee that every person on that trip will say that one of the most meaningful moments of that entire trip was the day spent inside a conference center sewing superhero hypoallergenic wigs for children suffering from leukemia in the Dublin hospital. We sewed over 350 superhero wigs that day. Captain America, Captain Jack Sparrow, Anastasia, Moana. It was one of the coolest days of my life. So I'll tell you that the heart of LifeVantage is as pure as it could ever be, and it is built on all the things that you would ever want a company to be built on. The last 2 things for me were opportunity and timing. Opportunity, when it comes to compensation plans, I don't talk about it much because every company has one and everybody says that theirs is the best. And so what I will say is that at LifeVantage, we are publicly traded, which means that we have nothing but transparency. That means that every 3 months, you have the ability to hop on an earnings call with all of our board of directors and our executives to hear exactly where LifeVantage is as a company, both financially, where we're going, where we've been, what new products might be coming, everything that's happening, you get to hear about on that earnings call. You get to know everything. Equally so, talking about the compensation plan, like I said, I don't talk about it much, but as a publicly traded company, what I can tell you is that LifeVantage pays out factually 48.7 to 49.2% month over month on average through their compensation plan, which from what we've been able to gather is amongst the highest in the entire profession. The average profession, company in the profession pays out between 38 to 42% is the average. And so knowing that you're getting paid the most you could possibly get paid for your efforts was a big deal for me. Looking at the fact that LifeVantage is 6-to-1 customer to distributor ratio was a big deal for me. When most of the profession is fighting just to be 50-50, and most of them are weighted more heavily on the opportunity side than they are the customer side, which the FTC does not like. LifeVantage is weighted aggressively on the customer side, showing even more legitimacy in the products. And when it comes to timing, I'll be honest with you guys, I thought that the timing was the best it could have ever been 2.5 years ago when I joined the company. I thought it was insane. I thought it was, the stock was trading at $2.50 a share. I think it's trading between $14 and $17 a share now in just 2 years. But what I will tell you is we're in the midst of something real right now. I don't care what you believe or what you think about the climate of where we're at. The reality is over 20 million Americans have filed for unemployment. Like I've said, the average American doesn't have over $500 in their savings account right now. the entrepreneurial spirit of America is coming back in a very big way. I do a lot of talks at a lot of generic conferences, and one thing that I talk about a lot is the fact that for about 75 years, America was plagued by an age of materialism. We were stuck in it. We couldn't get out of it. It was an age defined by things. I've been very, very excited over the last 15 years to be able to see very slowly, and it's only happened in the last 5 to 7, that we have effectively transitioned out of that age of materialism, and we have entered into what I define as the age of experientialism, which will be a status defined by the experience that you take in, not by the materialistic things that you pursue and you attain. If you go to baby boomers, to Gen Xers, to millennials, to Gen Z, you can factually see that in America, I can throw a lot of numbers at you real fast because I know them, but in America, there's 83 million Americans that fall into the baby boomer category. Out of those 83 million Americans, I think it was 7 to 12%. 7 to 12% fall into the open to an entrepreneurial based opportunity category. You go down to Gen Xers. Gen Xers have dramatically less in them because they're a smaller generation, but I believe it's about 63.5 million people in the Gen X generation. And out of those, the entrepreneurial rose, they went up to about 15% open to an entrepreneurial based opportunity, 15 to 20. Then the millennials came, and the millennials are currently the biggest generation in the United States, and I believe it's 83.3 million or so millennials in the United States. And they say that the millennial generation is 50% open to an entrepreneurial-based opportunity. If that wasn't crazy enough, you go to the Gen Zs. I read a Gallup study that showed a poll between 7th and 11th graders. They polled thousands of students in the United States. And when asked what they wanted to do when they got out of high school, 8 out of 10 said that they wanted to be independent business owners out of high school. 80% of this Gen Z generation is looking to be entrepreneurial based, or tradesman or craftsman or one of those things. What you realize is that America is shifting, and this pendulum is shifted. What we were founded on, you go back 100 years ago, 90% of America was independent business owners, with 10% of the country working for those 90%. Industrial age comes, all these jobs, boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden it shifts, and 90% of the America is working for 10% of the independent business owners. I'm telling you guys right now that we are seeing a very big shift in entrepreneurialism, and that over the next decade, we're going to see it shift even more, but we are entering into a space where people are no longer wanting to be tethered to that job. They're no longer wanting to be tethered to zero financial freedom, zero time freedom. They're wanting to live life on their terms. And for every one of you, I don't care how old you are on this call, what I want to tell you is right now, it does not matter when you decide. Tonight can be the defining moment in your life. Tonight can be the night that you decide, I am done playing small. I was meant to play bigger on this planet. I was meant to leave bigger ripples than just dropping pebbles into a stream. I was meant to put into the ocean. I was meant to drop boulders into the ocean. That's what my ripples were meant to do on this planet. I don't care if you're 85 years old or if you're 25 years old. I really don't, because it does not matter. It does not matter. What I will tell you is that you have a moment in time. When I was 10 years old, I was running backstage at an event, and Les Brown got down on his knee and he stopped. He grabbed me by my face and he said, "Young man, you have greatness in you. You were put on this planet to do great things and leave a large impact on this world. And I'm just so blessed that I have the opportunity to witness it. Let me be your Les Brown tonight. Let me tell each and every one of you that you have greatness inside of you, and that if you feel in any way like 2018 felt very eerily similar to 2019, and we're halfway through 2020, and all those goals that you made at the beginning of the year have been thwarted because of COVID or because of some craziness going on in the world, let me be the first person to tell you, you have the power to change it right now. Shed the excuse, shed the limiting beliefs. Realize that you have beauty and greatness in you. And if you remove the expectation, if you replace it with appreciation, I promise you that your life will change in a way that you could have never dreamed it would have changed. You will see the world through a different lens. And when you start living in appreciation instead of expectation, you start attracting the people to you that you want in your business. When you live in expectation, you attract those that live in expectation. When you live in appreciation, you attract those that attract and that want appreciation, those that feed on appreciation. The change can happen right now. Right now. But it's up to you. Like any good surfer knows, if you've ever watched someone surf before, you know this. There's not a good surfer on the planet that will ever catch and ride a wave if they start paddling when the wave is on top of them. Every good surfer knows that they have to look over their shoulder and wait. And when they see that perfect wave coming, which I am metaphorically telling you is happening right now, and you should look over your shoulder because the wave is coming. What does every good surfer do when they see that perfect wave? They paddle with all out action. It is the only way that a surfer ever will have the ability to gain the momentum necessary to stand up on that wave and ride it to shore. So what I'm telling you right now, you can't wait for momentum to come and pick you up and make it do all the things that you wanted it to do for you. You have to kick momentum into gear. You have to tell the universe, I'm done living the same year over and over again. I'm done feeling this way. I'm done feeling like it's cut out for everyone else but me. I am in charge going forward, and I am going to live in nothing but appreciation. I hope that answered your question, Mark. I appreciate you guys so much. I love every one of you. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to call it there. But Julie, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you guys. Again, like more than you know. It's my honor to serve you in every way I possibly can. And all I want for you is to be able to achieve your goals so that you can live in the space that you were born to live in.
Thank you.
Yeah, super awesome. I just want, before you close us out, two things. One is you may not know the person that will do this with us, but chances are you know the person who knows the person, right? And so even people that are cold to the opportunity or they're not at high noon, go ahead and ask the question. Just say, well, that's fine. But who do you know, if they saw this information, would get excited about it? Who do you know that's looking for something? Who do you know that's praying that would see this and their eyes would jump out of their head? We need to have that conversation. And I want to encourage us all, Julie, once you get this recording posted to the team page, to basically memorize what has been for the last 15 minutes, one of the best opportunity presentations I've ever seen. And Taylor, I think that was articulate and it was passionate. And I think that is immensely compelling. And I wish we could put you in our pocket and take you around with us to those coffee shop presentations when the coffee shops open up. But we are grateful you are right where you are, and we can't wait to connect you with more and more people.
My honor, man. My honor. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for those words.
Love you, buddy. Julie, back to you.
Wow, Taylor, I can't even put into words my appreciation for what you've shared with us tonight, and just the blessing that it is to be in LifeVantage and just to, have what we have here. It truly is special. And it's been such a special time tonight having you on here with us. We appreciate you taking the time out. Know you have a lot of things on your plate. So God bless you for joining us tonight. And just blessings to everyone for joining us tonight. I will get this post out so that we can share this with the world. So thanks everybody for being on here.
Thank you guys. Have a beautiful night. Stay safe and we'll see you soon.
All righty.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
And for Good night.
Good night.
And for those of you that are still on, I would encourage you to go on our Team Lifetree Distributor group and look at the video by Darren Jensen. It's about Global Convention. It's going to be amazing. You want to get registered for that. And it's $199 right now. But with that, they are giving us a gift box that is over $300 value. So it's going to be amazing. So excited about it. So I'd encourage everyone just to go ahead and get registered and pass the word around and watch that video. So with that, I know it's been long tonight, but thank you so much for being on here, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye.
Well worth it. Thank you, Julie. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
God bless you.